Before we kick off, two quick disclaimers. Number one is that this relates to the 2016 League of Legends World Championships finals. So if you haven't watched them, I would advise not watching this video, put this down, watch them, they are quite good games. Make your own conclusions from that and then come back to me and watch the video. And the second one is that I don't usually make videos like this. This is a little bit out of character for me, but I saw this with my friends, had to do something on it. So this will be very different to my educational / montage videos that I usually do. Let's begin. Okay, so as you can see, I recorded this terribly. So let me paint the picture. Samsung Galaxy has 3 dragons. None of these have been contested. Sorry, 4 dragons actually at this time. They have an Infernal, a Cloud, an Ocean, and another Infernal. None of these have been contested at all by SKT Telecom. The tower score is 6-1, objective-wise, in SKT's favour, and the difference is just a scratch away from that 10,000 gold mark. This is 29 minutes and 39 seconds where we're going to be coming into the SKT Baron attempt as we come up, right? So, SSG caught out. Bang walks in, pretty much insta-gibbed immediately. See, watch SKT Faker, right? He walks in immediately, he dies. He has... His flash was used, he flashed on the spot. He also had his shockwave up, which he chose not to use at the time. And he almost flashed on, pretty much flashed on the spot. If we go back a few moments. That's not a few moments. Alright, see, watch Faker. He moves up, it's ball, puts it down, dies. It wasn't even near anyone. It was closer to SKT Duke than it was to any of the Samsung Galaxy members. So that was the first team fight which kind of went into their favor. From here, they get Baron. Right, so this is at the 30-minute mark. So this is the first shift. Now, a misstep could be an error. However, the fact that he both flashed on the spot or wasted flash to dodge a very small cooldown, or alternatively, just wasted. And the fact that he held on to Shockwave and that he walked up to collect the ball in the middle of the team, it didn't even look like he was attempting to do anything, and he died. So that's suspicious moment number 1. So now we're coming up to the next video of suspicions. This happens around the 50-minute mark. So now you can actually see the top of the screen because it decided not to be stupid this time. 4 dragons, still the same. Now Samsung Galaxy is ahead of SKT in towers, still in dragons, and now it is only a 6k difference. So the gold hasn't shifted that much. It's only shifted 3 or 4k. Now SKT is now moving for their second attempt, right? So they're moving in. There is a ward on it, so blue team does see. None of them use their trinkets at this point at all, just to try to clear. So blue team has full vision of this at the moment. Now, red team does manage to secure Baron in this time. Now, watch Faker. Faker stays here the entire time. He has flash. He has shockwave. He could have peeled for himself, right? He could have removed himself from the problem, even because they are red side, so he would have flashed the wall. He would have been closer to his team. There's no real reason for him to die. Even here, SKT is fighting fine, but SKT is fighting without their mid laner, who chose not to do anything. Nami just used her ult then. Trundle just dies then. He doesn't have any summoner spells either. So now that swaps over to Samsung Galaxy's favor again. So now the gold difference is clenching even more. So the question you have to ask yourself here is, why didn't Faker do anything in this team fight? Okay, red's got it. Pause right here. There's only 2 here at this current time. They still dominate the entire red side here. It would not have been that difficult for them to move up and redrawing Bane and Duke. Or alternatively, Faker could have used either of these walls to realign himself in the team. The rest of the team is still here, but instead he chooses to stay, holding on a ridiculously good ultimate. Right there, Crown's coming in now. Doesn't flash the wall. It's charged instead, and then pays the price. And then the rest of the team fight obviously falls apart because now they're missing their mid laner, even though SKT is doing completely and perfectly fine, especially considering SSG ruined his ult. So now that's 2 team fights. Two team fights which seem a little odd that SKT have lost. The third and final video is from the 57-minute and 34-second mark. We might even chuck in a new video, who knows. However, SSG is moving on Barrett at the moment. Gold is now still favoured in SKT. They're still a 6k ahead. They haven't been able to clench that 10k difference. Samsung Galaxy is still playing from behind at this point, right? You have 9 towers, 6 towers. At this point of the game, a lot of Samsung's heroes should be dropping off a little. So Lee Sin and Ezreal aren't, not so much Ezreal, you know, take that back, but Lee Sin and Zyra aren't really considered late game heroes. Some are squishy, some damage falls off, whereas SKT, their team scales. Jhin, Orianna, Trundle, just out of his subjugate. This team fight, as you may guess where we're going, is going to get hairy. So, they move in. SSG starts Baron, right? That's just okay. SKT starts to come around. Shots come out. Harassers come out. Curtain call. Now, Faker's at the back here at the moment, right? He loops around. This moment, the Strangle Fawns is out. Okay? 1, 2, 3 caught. These two aren't. Faker walks into the ult and then takes an immense amount of damage for it. SKT Bang also looks like he was going to move into it. However, he just seems to have missed it. They get popped up. Duke gets busted. Those three also get shoved apart. SKT Faker, after using his ult, Zhonya's immediately. He still has Wolf. Bengi isn't that far away. Rest of the team isn't that far away either. He had a chance to pull in and then do the standard Orianna combo here. However, he chose not to. Teamfight breaks away. A teamfight will reset. Bengi flashes and instantly dies. A very aggressive flash considering the circumstances. Teamfight continues and resumes. One dies. Go in on Ruler, who manages to push them back. That teamfight should have swung in SKT's favour. There is almost no reason why. The teamfight keeps going. Bengi then engages, rushes up against a team which have gamp closers when a Jhin shouldn't know to try to kill them. Faker then gets pushed back into the team and another one dies. This teamfight shouldn't have lasted as long as it did. SKT had the potential to finish that up at the start. From this, you can see that those 3 team fights were all unusually weighted in Samsung's. It's almost like SKT didn't want to put their full 6,000 gold ahead lead, or they didn't want to put their foot down. Put some Reddit posts up just during the moment, see if anyone had similar ideas. Some people did. There was one thread, which is another consideration, which is probably unpopular. It was removed by the moderator team. It wasn't deleted as it comes up as when you delete the post yourself, which is a little suspicious. And our post that me and my friend did, it stayed up. That was heavily vote brigaded, which could just because we're being paranoid about this, or it could be because people are scared of the truth, whichever works. Now, just some brief counter arguments. You know, you could argue that SKT was under pressure, but most of their squad has done worlds before. So I don't really think pressure should be taken into consideration. They've all performed in front of audiences as big as this. And as the casters have kept mentioning over and over again, these are the best teams and the best players. Making mistakes are fine, but not when the mistakes almost appear deliberate, such as walking into someone's ult or pressing Zhonya's after halfway through your combo. A 10k gold deficit loss just doesn't happen. They already rarely happen in the professional level of League of Legends, as discussed at the start of the video. Now I know what you're thinking. But why, Damien? Why? What does Riot Games now get out of this? Two main things. Popularity for the game. As I mentioned, League of Legends has had a pretty rough year with the scandals, with the casters, with paying their players, with Reggie and a variety of other different things. It would look even worse for them on top of all these internal struggles that if SKT has won 3 out of the 6 World Championships, 2 of them being 3-0 stomps, considering they were formed in Season 3, they have 2 of the World Championships would be under their belt 3-0, right? It would make the game look stale, easily dominated, and inflexible. Something Riot wants to avoid, even though according to a Reddit thread this is the least flexible meta-wise game we've had so far. The second point is popularity for advertising. Now, Riot Games has recently jumped into advertising, as I mentioned at the start. It would look bad for them if they were advertising a game which can be easily dominated by one team in a region over a variety of different seasons. Thus, you want to stretch it out a little to improve advertising exposure, which a lot of people would have paid top dollar for, and to make it look more presentable. Hence, why this went to 3-2, even though at the end of the second game, SKT looked unstoppable, taking 2 games off a team that had already gone through the brackets undefeated. And imagine how well that looks as well. Imagine watching it being like, oh, this team has gone so well for the bracket stage, and they're already lost 2, and then they come back, and then SKT executes them in the final game. Advertising dream. You've got plenty of screen time there. It looks really presentable. It looks like competition is happening, but we think that this didn't happen. Anyway, just a conspiracy theory. You can take it as you will. Leave what you think in the comments if I'm being crazy, because it's possible, I'm gonna lie, or if you think that it could be true, let me know. Like, subscribe if that's your kind of jam. If not, I understand. We'll be back to regular videos very soon. Thank you very much for watching.